Hey everyone, John from ViewSonic, and today I'd like to take a deeper dive into the heart of our new setup wizard, the actual modes that we offer you. Today I'd like to take a look at control systems via RS-232, serial, or LAN. This is the mode you're going to want in a connected or automated space like Crestron, Q-SYS, Extron, any of those great partners. Let's toggle in and take a closer look together. So we can just hit OK and accept these settings, but for today's sake, let's dive in and take a closer look together. So these are about how are we going to control the power state of the display. So HDMI with device control is ViewSonic's implementation of CEC, or Consumer Electronics Control. That allows the device to be controlled over the HDMI input. In this case, that's not what we want. We want a control system to manage the display. So you'll see that that is off. But we do want the option for that control system to engage via RS-232 or LAN control. We also want full LAN functionality or IP-based control. So you'll notice that those settings are all turned on. We're going to scroll down here a little further, look at our power and boot settings. Our power and boot settings are configured for optimal integration with any of our great control system partners. Energy Star mode is disabled. We want optimum performance in this particular case. Our standby mode is set to sleep. Our ViewSonic displays offer two options, sleep and hibernate. Hibernate is more like power off, sleep is more like sleep. And so in this case, we want the display to be very responsive to whatever the control system is asking it to do. So when it is off, it's actually sleeping so that we get a fast warm boot instead of a cold boot from off. Boot on source here is set to last input. In some of our other modes or use cases, we will force this to a specific input, say HDMI 1. However, in this case, because the display is being managed by a control system, we want that control system to set the input and we want our display to follow instructions. So in this case, last input is the optimal setting, and then that allows the display to always return back to wherever the control system left it. Power on state, more accurately, is what does it do when power is lost and then restored? In this case, we want it forced on. If there's a blip in power, the room shuts off, everything else is probably going to reboot. Our display should behave the same. Auto power off reminder we've disabled because that's going to be managed by the control system, and so a user will have initiated an off, and so there's no need to remind the user on screen that that's what's happening. Let's scroll down to our signal settings. In this case, because again, the control system is managing this display, we don't want the display switching inputs on its own. We also don't want it detecting signals on its own. We do, however, want the display to go quickly to sleep when signal is lost. So that might be something like a reboot of the control system, where then the control is lost, there's no signal, now the display is going to go into standby, and then that on command is going to trigger the display to come back to life. So we've also disabled wake on active source because we don't want anything to trigger a source change or power state change other than the control system. USB autoplay is a signage feature. We're not using that in this particular mode. And in the case of HDMI version, we want the full feature set that the display offers. We want that advertised out to the control system. We don't want to throttle it back, so enhanced mode is set. And that is what's happening under the hood in IP or control system mode.